Let's dig into the Q&A on how to pull your audience into your product story. The most upvoted question so far is, how do you build trust effectively? With e-commerce, it's really hard because there's something very, very weird that we forgot that is weird about e-commerce. In the time when e-commerce started, everybody was saying like, this is never going to work because you can't touch it in the store. Why should I order it online? How can I have the trust in the merchant? How do I know that the product is any good? This e-commerce is not going to happen ever in this world. People need to touch stuff in real stores, buy from people they trust. So how do we build that kind of trust? First of all, we are lucky. Most people are now absolutely used to e-commerce. It's become the new norm. And the way you build trust is by at least 3 things, and 2 of those already touched today. You need to show your product in a way that is believable, with pictures, with videos. You can describe your product in a way that is honest and authentic. The third way is that has become like the norm today is reviews from other customers. Hopefully not fake reviews, but this is another issue that is hurting the trust of e-commerce, that lots of merchants are faking reviews because it's such an effective way to increase their sales. So those are 3 ways to build trust. So the next question is, what's your experience with span of attention? When using Hotjar, I can see that people immediately jump on the call to action without reading our awesome text. Very true, very true. I'm very glad you're using Hotjar. For people who are not familiar with that, Hotjar is a tool that allows you to see where people clicked and scrolled on your website, but it also has a great feature that allows you to do like a kind of retroactive like screen recording. Yeah, of course there are people who jump on the main call to actions first, but the more involved your product is and the less it is a spontaneous decision, the more they will get involved into the product story and read the text. You also do not know how much they have already read. Maybe this was just the final step of the journey and you just checked out sessions that had a successful purchase. But yes, it is still my observation that people either leave very quickly and that they very often do not read the awesome texts. They still need the feeling that they are there. Yeah, and they need to see the product shots and they need to hopefully see those texts and videos that you recorded in the ads that actually had them land on that landing page with the awesome text. Not everybody is going to read them in the end. That's absolutely true. So the next question is, recently I launched a lead ad as a test, getting leads for €1.60. However, the overall ROAS and number of purchases was way below average of normal ads. Is that normal? So what are we talking about here? We're talking about Facebook or Instagram ads. We're talking about the campaign type lead generation, and we call those ads leads ads. What happens here is that usually you talk about your product, you tell them, hey, you want to get a discount, then click here, and a pop-up on Facebook and Instagram shows up that already has pre-filled form fields. Like your name, your email address is already in there. You just do like the data processing checkbox and the newsletter opt-in, and then can immediately become a lead without going to your landing page. You can of course send them to your landing page afterwards. Now, why do you see less purchases than usual? First of all, it's a bit tricky to track the purchases that are coming through those lead generation funnels, because you have the following issue. There might be attribution challenges to the Facebook pixel and Google Analytics, where they think that user is coming from. Do they attribute it to email or do they attribute it to that campaign? Is that attribution stolen by another campaign with a more recent click because you're doing good retargeting? That's why I recommend the following thing. When you do lead ads, let's say you send them to MailChimp with Zapier. You want to tag the people with the campaign that they came from. And then you want to synchronize your MailChimp with your shop store, let's say with Shopify. And now you can see from which email source, which campaign people are coming, and how much money is attached to that email address in the online store. And that synchronization works really well. That way you will get a much more accurate number of purchases than if you just look into Google Analytics and the Facebook Ads Manager. Another way to check this is if you use Facebook Analytics and use a longer time frame to observe how many people signed up and then at some later stage in their customer lifetime journey became customers. Because that is the main idea of lead generation before sales. You sacrifice some sales now, and seeing a little bit lower numbers is normal. Might even be unprofitable in the beginning, but after a couple of weeks it should be more profitable, and after a year way more profitable than without the lead generation funnel. If you can't get this to work, that's it, that's okay. If not all those tactics are working, go to another one, check that out, try to build this. But this is one of the most worthwhile to put effort in to make them work. Hope that answers your question. Next question. Would you run your Facebook, Instagram ads on break-even level or try to reach your usual margin? I'm very happy with break-even as long as I get to build up my organic channels. Of course, I prefer higher margins as always, but for a little time, I would definitely burn a bit of profits and just stay break-even in order to grow my email list faster, to grow my followers faster. Followers only on the channels that matter. As I said, Facebook followers, I don't give a fuck about anymore. Instagram is awesome, LinkedIn is awesome, Pinterest is meaningful, TikTok, I'm not sure yet. Done not enough on TikTok yet to have a qualified opinion on that. But generally, I'm willing to burn the profit. But usually don't have to. Just try to put an upsell after the first purchase. Meaningful upsell. If you don't have something to upsell, you're doing it wrong. Yeah, have something to upsell and see how that affects your profitability. Upselling is in this way really magical because you have absolutely nothing to lose. It doesn't take too much time to create content for all the 50+ products in my online shop. Good question. So again, as I said during the live stream, is like, should you have 50+ products? And if you build them over time, you should have created content and stories and all the jazz that we talked about, like how-to guides, like videos, like a ton of articles and descriptions about them. You should have done this for each product. If you just suddenly came to have 50 products, I would highly recommend focusing. Focus on the products that have the highest margins for you and that have the highest sales numbers. Start with them, build product stories, build content for them, see how that affects the sale. I usually see that 2 or 3 products are usually carrying a 50+ product store. And focus on those and keep on building one after another in order of profitability. In terms of paid social and on Instagram, what's the difference between boosting and a paid ad? Pros and cons. On Insta, there's only the promote button, and I don't think there is a difference between boosting and paid ads, but there is a difference between starting your ads from your mobile app and starting them from the Facebook Business Manager. Let me answer the question this way. If you start your ads from your mobile app, you're very limited, and I wouldn't usually recommend it. But what I showed you today in the video parts before was how this is the only way to get people very effectively to your profile and making it much more likely that they become followers, because there's no stupid in-app browser opening up. Yeah, it's straight your user profile. This is the only time when I would recommend using your mobile app to boost or promote your posts. All of your performance campaigns, the good campaign structures, we're going to talk about campaign structures, how to really create tofu campaigns that reach broad new audience, mofu campaigns for people who are engaged, bofo campaigns for people who have been on your website, who started the journey and that you really want to retarget well. That is completely done in the Facebook Business Manager. It's hardly even possible to start that from your mobile app. Next question. Thanks for clarifying social ads, for the clarifying social ads explanations. Why is Facebook Ads Manager that much limited compared to Instagram mobile app? Only in the scenario where you want to track how many followers you get. Why is a very good question. It's just plain stupidity from the ends of Facebook. Probably get this video banned because of that. But it's incredibly weird. Why can they not just create a fucking column that says followers, Instagram followers, Facebook likes? Facebook likes exists. Instagram likes does not exist in Facebook Ads Manager, but on your mobile app. Even that experience is crappy. Do I know why? Nope. They just don't seem to care about us advertisers with whom they make money. So that's my answer to that. So it's more efficient to focus on Instagram running as brand profile. So let me interpret that as, should I turn my normal Instagram profile into a business profile? Yes, except you have a large, beyond 20,000 number of people that you gathered organically on your private Instagram profile. If you have that, it's a bit dangerous to switch it to a business profile, because there is a belief in the community that says that business profiles don't get as much reach as private profiles, even if you switch them back and forth. But generally, for normal e-commerce businesses, I would definitely say that the business profiles are the way to go. It's necessary for any kinds of automated posts, for ads, for better analytics. So yeah, I would say go for the brand profile, aka the business profile. So how can I save time when I want to create a lot of video content for my products? We actually made a meetup about that, how to create more video content faster. Just check them out on pirateskills.com. But the gist is that you want to have a setup like this. I just press the record button on my camera and in the software called OBS that I'm using, and I'm pretty much ready to live stream, to record, to do anything. You want all of the setup process to be out of the way. And if you can make a little product photography, video creation set in your office, that is incredibly helpful to save a lot of time in the product creation. Another way to save time is not to try to do too much editing. For example, if you do explainer videos, record them in one go, cut the beginning and the end, that's it. If you go into the whole editing shenanigans, first of all, people who can do it really good are very expensive. Second of all, they take so much time to create a single videos. Much rather you would create 10 videos that are just cut at the beginning and the end and are done with it, than to create one perfectly cut video. The 50 are going to, or the 10 are going to outcompete that one with a very high probability. What's the screen video capturing program you use for combining speech and slides? Thank you, Pit, for all of your questions. That is really appreciated. So I also explained it in the video, in the meetup called How to Create More Video Content Faster. I show you this exact setup. The software I use is called OBS, the free open source software that is used by a lot of gamers on Twitch and YouTube, and how you can see them as a picture-in-picture. You see the whole game, and then you have the picture on the side. I have chosen this format of square slides and square face pictures just to make it more interesting for you, because you can now shift your attention between the information on the slides and the person if you want the connection. It is very hard to keep in touch with you if you can't look at me. It's even hard. You will notice that I haven't looked at you all the time. It's hard if I don't look at you. And it's hard if you can't even look at me, no matter where. So OBS is the answer to your question. What's a good purchase conversion on my shop for Facebook and Instagram ad? For a customized product, we are currently hitting roughly 4%. Any benchmarks? So if 4% is the actual session to purchase conversion rate, then you are already in the top of conversion rates in e-commerce. I usually say you're dead at 1. You simply are dead below 1. It's very hard to get traffic as cheap as necessary for making a 1% e-commerce conversion rate work. It would need to be like just social organic or SEO. Then 2% is where it starts to get fun. 3% good. 4% and above is, dude, what are you doing good? So please share your campaign data with us so we can take a look at it. I would be very interested to see it, but 4% is already excellent. Congratulations. Follow up on the lead ads question. First of all, thanks. Do you have a recommendation resource to learn Facebook Analytics? Currently, I use Shopify, Klaviyo, Google Analytics. Congratulations, very good combination. Shopify, Klaviyo, Google Analytics. In that combination, like Shopify, Klaviyo, this is the best shop email e-commerce experience that performance marketing combination that I've seen. It's absolutely fantastic. Yes, it makes 100% sense to get more into Facebook Analytics. We actually have made a meetup called Facebook Analytics. That might be a good kickoff. And at the end of that meetup, I mentioned a couple of resources, but one that I can remember on the top of my head right now is called Facebook Blueprint. If you go to facebook.com/blueprint, you will end up in e-learning environment from Facebook for marketers. And there is an organic section, a paid section, and an analytics section. You want to start there. Yeah, it's very good interactive content from which gets you up to speed. I also like everything that the YouTube channel Measure School puts up, and they have some interesting information about how to pixel your shop a bit better to have better results. I don't think they talk directly about Facebook Analytics, but in the past Pirate Skills meetup, especially the one called Facebook Analytics, that's the one you want to start with. All right, last question for tonight. Focus prioritization is the main issue. Can you recommend a time split between content development, new marketing activities, product development? The only thing that you need to know is like which stage of the product creation are you in? Let's say you are in the situation like Klarheit. They have a product that is working. Of course, they are improving this product based on the feedback, but they're like releasing a new version every year with some improvements in them. But in the meantime, some of the people focus on developing new products that are complementary to Klarheit, the calendar. You at least want to have one full-time resource that is just focusing on creating and promoting content for your ad. If you are a team of 5, I would hope that you have one person that is really good at content creation and one that is really good at advertising and analytics. That is a good ratio. 2 out of 5, so maybe 2 days out of 5 if you're doing this solo should be enough to create content and to keep your promotions in check. If you're a team of 5, 2 out of 5 should be involved in that process. The rest should focus on organizational processes and product development. Right, that's it for tonight. See you the next time. Checking out. Bye bye.